Hello YouTube, what's up? This is the Gamer Ninja here, and it's time for the second Pokemon of the week. And fitting of the title of second Pokemon, we have the second Porygon, or Porygon 2. Porygon 2 has always been a very somewhat odd Pokemon ever since 3rd and 4th gen, particularly 4th gen on. It's always had a really good special attack and some pretty decent defensive stats to go along with it, but it never really had the speed to really be used as a sweeper. So up until fourth gen or fourth gen, it really wasn't able to take off in the upper tiers of OU. It was really only a UU threat. And once the item Eviolite came out, those subpar or average defenses became really strong because Porygon 2 is not a fully evolved Pokemon. And for those of you who don't know, Eviolite increases the defenses of a not fully evolved Pokemon by 50%, which is pretty huge if you think about it. So, again, Porygon 2 is sort of in this awkward place. Again, it's a great wall, but its support move set is kind of lackluster. So you want to try to hit stuff, but again, you're a wall. So you're basically a bulky attacker type of thing. That being said, Porygon 2 can take hits and heal off the damage with Recover and do a whole bunch of stuff. And if you're not prepared for it, it can do quite a bit of damage. So let's get started with the analysis here. For this first build, this is what I call a physically defensive build. As the name implies, you're trying to come in on physical attackers and just shut them down really hard. Now, Porygon 2 has three different abilities here. It has Trace, Download, and Analytic. Trace is probably the best one for all of the more defensive variants. Because it lets you switch in on things like Heatran, who have Flash Fire, and who want to try to hit you with a fire type attack, but now all of a sudden they can't. And you can do a lot of fun stuff with it too. It just lets you potentially have an additional immunity, or more importantly, in my opinion, an out to Shadow Tag, because two Shadow Tag Pokemon can't hold each other down, and it gives you an out to that. Download's alright. I mean, again, you have a pretty high special attack. Uh, this one's pretty doggone ridiculous. It's a base 105, I believe? Yeah, 105. And that's pretty darn high. So, with that in mind, hold on, this is actually messed up. This is supposed to be here. Sorry. Alright, that's better. I guess when I was editing this, it got all messed up. So I apologize for that. In any case, this set here, I ran in 5th gen for one reason, and that was to shut the frickin' hell out of Garchomp. This thing could take anything that Garchomp throws at it, and then shoot it back in the face with an Ice Beam. So you can really check physical threats with this one, bar ridiculous fighting type attacks, but even then you could probably take one shot with your bulk. In terms of moves, you have Recover, because it's Recover. If you're a wall, you want Recovery beyond Leftovers, which you actually lack because you're forced to run Eviolite. I personally run Toxic, although I have seen Thunder Wave running around, and they're both really solid options. I prefer Toxic because it gives me a stalling out option if I can't kill something directly. And then we have the classic Bolt Beam combination, which is always amazing no matter what. In terms of EVs, we have max HP because even though you're a physically defensive wall, you're probably going to be taking a few special attacks every now and then. 240 in defense. Again, optional, and that should be 16 in special defense. Man, this is a wreck. That's just a little extra padding, lets you take maybe a few extra shots. That's just my personal preference. There's nothing you really will survive more with 16 more in defense anyway. And Nothing else really to say about this set. Coming in on a physical threat, and then just make it regret ever coming in or force a switch. Porygon 2 works great as a pivot. It forces switches because not a whole lot can actually kill it until you know what its EV spread is, and it will probably cripple at least one or two things before it dies, if it ever dies. For the next set, we have the specially defensive set. It's basically the same thing, although this time I'm showcasing Shadow Ball over Toxic. And the reason why I'm doing that is because Shadow Ball is amazing for one reason right now, and that's to smash Aegislash in the face. Because Aegislash can't one-shot you completely, even with you not investing in defense. And you just Shadow Ball it in the face if it's a one-on-one. If they switch out, then you just hit something in the face with a Shadow Ball, and that's not going to be fun either. But again, you could run Toxic here if you already have Aegislash answers. Nothing really too much to say here. EVs, again, we max out the HP, put a little bit in defense, and then put the rest in special defense. Again, you're not really surviving it too much extra with the 200 with 252 in the special defense section. And it's just the extra defense can help you take a Mach Punch or something. It really does help more than you realize. Now, for the final set, I personally don't use this one too much, although I've had it used against me, and I think it's a bitch, because I hate Trick Room, and again, why are my EV spreads all messed up all of a sudden? But anyway, this is Trick Room. Now, Porygon 2 is a great Trick Room user, because not only can it set it up, it can use it pretty well. So, for movesets, we obviously run Trick Room, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam again, and then I'm running Tri-Attack here. And you might notice that my ability is also currently Download, because Download is amazing, and if you get a special attack boost, nothing's going to like eating something coming from a 336 special attack stat. And Tri-Attack is stab, which is always nice. Again, we're running max HP because even though you're a more offensive variant, you're going to be taking some hits anyway. For special attack, we put on 240, again, just because 240 is a very nice number. And 16 in special defense, personally, because most of the time, physical threats are hesitant to come in on Porygon 2 because they don't like getting T-waved. And that's just my own personal opinion. Now, one issue with Porygon 2 is the fact that it relies on Eviolite. This poses two problems. One, you don't have leftovers. Now, that may not seem like a huge thing, but that 6% heal every turn is really nice when you're dealing with burn or poison or sandstorm or hail or whatever. It's just additional healing that he's not going to have. And then the second issue is the fact that if it gets hit by a knockoff, you are screwed. Because this thing's defenses without Eviolite are just subpar. Now, in UU, this thing is an absolute terror. With Eviolite, it has defenses that rival a lot of OU Pokemon, and it has a massive special attack stat. I think that you could do a lot of fun in the UU section, while still having a Pokemon that is quite capable of holding its own in the OU section, and who wants to use a cute, adorable little space ducky. So that wraps up this Pokemon of the week. It was Porygon 2, and I had a lot of fun talking about it. So if you'd like to like, comment, and subscribe, please do. It really helps me out, and I'll see you at the next Pokemon of the week. Catch you later.